Hey there, Saki here from SAKITECH, and in today's video, I want to enhance the ownership of your Samsung Galaxy S9 or S9 Plus by giving you a full set of detailed tips and tricks on how to modify and customize your home screen, your lock screen, and your notifications panels. The Galaxy S9 or the S9 Plus is a fantastic smartphone, and I need you to learn as much as you can to master every aspect of this smartphone. So make sure to watch the other videos in the Galaxy S9 playlist as well. The link will be down below. Also, if you're wondering what case I'm using for my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus, see the link in the description box down below to check it out. Alright, so the very first thing I want to show you guys has to do with the lock screen. So when you turn off the device and you go to the lock screen, you'll see that there's going to be a clock in the middle. I'm going to show you how to customize this clock as well. But if you tap the clock, no matter what form the clock is in, it's going to expand and give you this clock over here with the seconds and the date. Okay? So all you do is tap on the clock and boom, that's what you get. So we're going to come back to the lock screen a little bit. But right now, I want to talk about the home screen and how you can modify and customize every single thing in the home screen. Now it looks very simple, but with Samsung smartphones, there's always a lot more going on under the actual simplistic look. So first and foremost, I'm going to show you a couple things over here. So if I swipe over, as you can see, there's a bunch of apps just sitting on the home screen and they're scattered all over the place. It doesn't look very nice. There's a couple ways you can actually organize these apps. The first thing you can do is you can press and hold on the home screen anywhere or just pinch it. And then you have these two buttons over here at the bottom and the top. If you tap these guys, if you tap the one on the bottom, it's actually going to align them towards the bottom. Okay. But what you can also do is you can tap on the top one over here, and that's going to align them on the top. So if your apps are scattered all over the place, this is a very nice, quick, and easy way to actually clean up your messy home screen. The next thing has to do with actually movement of these apps. So normally on many other smartphones, if you wanted to move a bunch of apps from one screen to the next screen, you would have to do it one by one, which is a pain in the ass. So you have to grab one of them, put it right there, then you have to grab another one, put it right over there. With the Samsung Galaxy S9 and the S9 Plus, and even the previous versions, you can do a lot more than that. So let's start like this. So let's press and hold on the Samsung Pay. Let's say I want to grab 4 of these apps. I want to put it on this screen. So I'm going to press and hold on one of the apps, any app, and choose Select Items. That allows you to select multiple apps at the same time. So let me select this, this, and this. And then what you can do is you can grab all these together, bring it over here, and just dump it right there. And it's going to drop right next to the other application that I had there already. So very quickly and efficiently, I was able to transfer a bunch of apps from one screen to the other. Now, the other thing you can do with the same concept is if you, again, press and hold on any one of these apps, bring up select items, tap on that, and then select all the items. For example, let's say that all these items were the same type of apps. Let's say they were photo apps. What you can do is you can, on the top here, after you select these items, you have these options such as uninstalling, removing from home screen, or do a create folder. So what I like to do is I like to create folders to organize everything. So I can just create an instant folder, give the folder a name. Let's just say photos, or let's just say media. And we're just assuming it is a media folder. And then I give it a nice color code. You can pick pre-selected colors over here, or you can tap on the color selector and just about pick any color that you want. Okay, so now we have a little folder sitting right over here. And you'll notice that the 999 here is reflecting from the Gmail app. Okay, so we can remove, if you remove the Gmail app over here, that 999 disappears and carries over to the Gmail app. And of course, you can do the same thing to the actual folders as well. So I can press and hold on a folder, I can select the entire folder and then select this app and then grab these guys and just move them over to this side. Okay, so you don't have to actually just perform that operation on a single app. You can perform that operation on any app that you want. And also talk about one more thing. I'm going to show you one more time though. Again, if you press and hold on one of the apps, and if you say select items, and if you select 3 of these together, And let's say you don't want these three on your home screen anymore, you can just tap on remove from home and they're gone, and that's just another way to clean up your home screen. So let's keep this here on the side for a minute. I'm going to show you one more thing. If you swipe over, it takes you into your app drawer. And everything I just showed you also applies to your app drawer. So you can do the same exact thing on your app drawer. So let me just give you an example. So let's say I wanted to create a folder inside here. All I do is I can press and hold on one of these guys. Oops, press and hold. Select item. I can select these three and I can create a folder right here. I can just say new for now. Give it a color code. Boom, it's right there, okay? And on top of that, what you can do is you can, again, select either individual apps or folders. Select item, 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 item. You can grab all of them together, so they're grouped together right now, and I can drag them to the home screen at the same time, okay? So that's also absolutely fantastic. Now, I like my home screen nice and clean, so I'm gonna take all these guys and just, throw them away for now, remove from home screen. The next thing I want to talk about has to do with when you press and hold on the screen or pinch the screen, you come up to this menu called Home Screen Settings. If you tap on the Home Screen Settings, you have a lot of options here. The quick option I want you to set up immediately is called the Quick Open Notification Panel. Make sure this is enabled. By default, it is actually turned off. So basically what this allows you to do is, let me show you what it does, or what it doesn't do first. Let me disable that. Let me go back out. If you swipe up, it takes you to the app drawer. If you swipe down, it takes you to the app drawer. Now that feels redundant. So what you can do is you can actually enable that option. And then, now when you swipe up, you still go to the app drawer, but when you swipe down, it pulls down your notifications panel, which is fantastic. Okay, so you can actually bring this down by swiping anywhere on the screen. And of course, you can swipe it one time and then one more time to expand your quick toggle notifications. So that's that option. Let's go back in here, look at all the other options. So this one over here is called the home screen layout. If you tap on this guy, you have two different options. First one is you can have home and app screens, which is what we have right now. So this is the home screen and this is the app screen. What you can do is you can eliminate the app screen altogether and have all these apps simply transfer to your home screen as add-on home pages, okay? So I don't recommend doing that, but if you want to take a look at how it looks, you can press and hold, go to home screen settings, tap on this guy, and just choose home screen only. Again, that's going to destroy your app drawer and it's going to create a bunch of home screens with apps on it. You can always revert back, but you will lose your old layout. So if you're going to do this, make sure that when you go back, you're going to have to reset everything on your home screen. Okay, so I'm not going to do it, but it's something you can do. The next thing over here is the home screen grid. So with this one, you can do either 4x5, which means you can have 5 apps this way and 4 apps this way. Or you can do 4x6. This means you can have 6 apps this way and 4 apps that way. And you can do 5x5, which is what I prefer. It's nice and symmetrical. Or you can do 5x6. The higher the number, the more apps you can have on the actual screen. Okay, so with 5x5, you can have 25 apps on the screen. With 5x6, you can have 30 apps on the screen, and so on and so forth. With this, you can do the math over here as well. So let's keep it at 5x5, and then let's go back into the actual settings. You can do the same exact thing in the apps screen grid. And to be honest, I like to go there and I like to keep it at maximum. So if you do 4x6, as you can see, you have 6 apps this way, 4 apps that way. But why not add as many apps as you can to one screen? Then you can go like this. Then again, some people like more clarity. If you want to see more, you can go like this. If you want to have more, you can go like that. Okay, so let's do 4x6 for now. Click apply, and that's what I'm going to be getting in my apps drawer. Let's go back out. Let me go back right into the settings screen. Press and hold, home screen settings, and then we have the apps button. If you tap the apps button, that allows you to actually show an app drawer button. So I can tap on show apps button, click apply, and boom, now we have an application button right over here. So if I tap this, it will go to my apps drawer. Now I don't like to have that because I can always do this, and that's very easy to do. So let's go back here and then put it back to the hide, click apply. And then the next one is app icon badges. If you click on this, you can either, let me actually bring up an app that actually has a badge right now. So let's grab this application, put it over here for a minute. So as you can see, there's a badge there. It says I have 999 emails. That just means 999 plus. 999 is the maximum number you can have. So if I go over here and if I tap on home screen settings and if I tap on app icon badges, I can actually do show with number, which is what I have right now, or I can do show without number, which is a cleaner and simpler look. It is also a feature of Android 8.0. So if I go back out here, now there's a tiny little dot on it telling me that there is a notification, but it is not as obnoxious as a 999. So it looks much more cleaner. Additionally, what I can do is if you don't like any of those, you can just turn off app icon badges completely, and then you will not see those tiny dots. So let's go back in here. Let's enable this. I do like to see them. I'm going to keep them simple for now, but you can do a couple of other things if you so desire. You can come and take a look at this option. Now let's go back out, and then we already talked about this. Portrait mode is the mode that allows you to prevent the home screen from rotating. So if I have this enabled and if I rotate my phone, it's not going to give you the rotational look. So let me show you what I'm talking about. So you can have this look over here if you wanted to. That's a landscape orientation, and that's the portrait orientation. Some people like to keep it exactly like this, so they lock it in place. So if you do want to keep it locked in this orientation so it doesn't flip back and forth, you can go to the home screen settings and just make sure this is enabled. Something I like to do, in fact, and that's one thing. And then this one over here is when you go to the Play Store and you install a new app, do you want the app to show up right here automatically or not? It's something I don't like to do. So let me show you what I'm talking about. Let me go to the settings over here. Let me click OK. Let's enable that option. Now let's go to the Play Store and just download a quick app. Let's find a tiny app here, whatever this is, Thrive. So let's install this application. Now it's going to download an application, and let me just enable the Wi-Fi here. It's installed, and as you can see, it actually added a quick shortcut to my home screen. Now I don't like that. I like everything to go to my app drawer, and then I can go into the drawer, and whatever I want, I can grab it and I can put it on the actual home screen. So if you go over here and if you actually disable this option, and then if you go back into the Play Store, and let's download this one over here, whatever that is, install. So it's going to download that application. It's installing it right now, but this time after the installation is complete, as you can see, it did not add a shortcut on the home screen, which guarantees that going forward my home screen is going to be clean. Alright, so that was the last thing in here that I wanted to actually talk about. So as you can see, even though when you look at the home screen it looks simple, it's not as simple as it looks. Now the next thing I'm going to talk about has to do with the actual lock screen. If you go back into the settings over here, and if you go into the actual lock screen and security, towards the bottom here you have something called the clock and face widgets. If you tap on this guy, on the top you have the option to choose a clock style. If you tap it, you have two options. You can have the always on display, or you can have the lock screen. Now I turned off the always on display. We're not going to cover that in this video, but it's been covered in other videos. But with the lock screen over here, you can do a bunch of really nice things. So basically the clock can be fully modified. You have all these options. Okay, so you have this clock, you have this guy right here, that looks very cool. You got this guy, this one. Okay, so you have all these nice options. And on top of that, after you pick the type of the clock, you can actually change the color of the clock. So if I turn this into a red clock, if I click apply, and if I go to the actual lock screen, this time it's going to be a beautiful little red clock. Let me go back in there. Again, if I was to pick something else, let's just pick this fancy one over here. Click apply. As you can see, we have that beautiful little clock. And as you can see over here, it says SAKITECH. So how did I add that there? Let me show you real quick. It's right there. So again, just go to the settings, go to the lock screen and security, and go to clock and face widgets. And here you can add anything you want. SAKITECH high, right? So when I go back out there, that's exactly what you're going to see. It says SAKITECH high. So you can either put a quote, or you can put your name, or you can even put your contact information there in case you lose your phone. Okay, so somebody can actually call you to let you know they found your phone, which I don't think a lot of people will do. So that's some of the things you can do on the lock screen. Let me just go back there. Lock screen and security is the face widgets. You can have a bunch of controllers on your actual lock screen to control music, display today's schedule if you are a calendar person, or you can display your next alarms. And that's as simple as simply swiping just like this. Next alarm. If you had any music, you would see a controller right there. And then here's your calendar with no events, because I don't really use calendars that much. All right, let's go back right in. Now the final thing I'm going to talk about, we talked about the home screen, we talked about the actual lock screen. Also want to talk about the actual notifications panel. Not this area where you get notifications, that's pretty simple and straightforward, but about this area that is your quick toggles. So there's a quick trick here that a lot of people do not know. So the easy thing is if you tap on this setting, for example, that's the Wi-Fi, it turns off the Wi-Fi. If you tap it again, it turns on the Wi-Fi. Now if you actually tap on the text, it expands that setting right in here. So you can do even more. And once you're done, you can click done, or you can tap on details, and that takes you into the full detailed settings for that particular option. Now you can also, what you can also do is if you press and hold anywhere on one of these quick toggles, it also takes you into the full settings of that option. Okay, so let me do that one more time so you can see it clearly. As you can see, I pressed and hold it, and boom, I'm right in the settings. Now let's do that one more time. So with the sound, for example, if I tap on the actual sound, it changes the sound profiles. But like I said, if I want to see more details, I can tap on the text, and that gives me more options, and it's more visually enhanced. So I can tap on vibrate, mute, or whatever. Okay, and I can also change the ringtone from here. Okay, and of course when I'm done, I can click done. It takes me back into the actual notifications panel. Now this applies to all these options. The flashlight, if I tap on the text, as you can see, I can turn it on. I can change the intensity, which you cannot see right now, but it is turned on, as you can see. Okay, so you can change the intensity of that flashlight. When I'm done, I click done. And same with the power savings mode. If I click this, it turns on the power savings mode, gives me the option. I'm not going to do it right now, but if I do tap on the text, it shows me more options that I can play with. And again, I can tap on details. Boom, it goes right in. Now on top of that, one more thing with the notifications panel is some people don't use these settings the way I use them. So what you can do is you can reorder these things left and right. So all you want to do is once you expand them like this, tap on this icon and just tap on button order. From here, you can take the things that you use more often to the front end. Okay, so I can put the power saving right there. I can take the performance mode, I can put it right there. Now when I click done, I have power savings, performance, the Wi-Fi, and the vibrational settings right over here. And they're also going to show up in the smaller version over here. Okay, so let's go back and let me show you one more thing here. So you can change the layout, but you can also change the size. So the button grid can be changed to 3x3, 5x3, or 4x3. The lesser the number, the less you're going to see on the screen, but you're going to get more. But you'll be able to see things easier if you go by a smaller grid number. And finally, with the lock screen, as you can see, we have a brightness slider here. What you can do is you can enable this at the first pull down. Okay, so you have to pull it twice to bring this up. But if you tap this arrow here, you can tap show control on top and then click done. And now when I pull down the notifications panel, that control, the quick brightness slider, shows up right there, which is a great little thing to have to quickly adjust the brightness. Okay, so again, if you don't have this, And if you pull this down, it's not going to show up. You have to pull it twice to show it up. I like to keep it just like this, show control on top. All right, and that was the notifications panel. And that brings us to the end of this video. I hope you learned some new things in this video. And again, if you're wondering what case I was using throughout this video on my Samsung Galaxy S9 Plus or the S9, see the link in the description box down below. And of course, make sure to subscribe to SAKITECH, give this video a thumbs up, and if you do use Instagram, Twitter, or Facebook, make sure to follow me on all @SAKITECH Online.